Alright, so we gotta go return the toolbox to the craftsman and see if that'll make him join the UCA and get into the chiral network. Our strategy in doing that, having as many people on the network as possible, is there's simply strength in numbers. So hopefully, us risking our lives in that hellhole back there will be enough to convince him. Like I said in the previous video, I kind of understand their hesitance and being like, I don't know if I should. Especially with the more we're learning about Fragile being connected to Higgs' sort of terrorist group. Really, I think, from what I know, it seems as if Fragile just did what she had to do.
Scanning bridges ID.
You know?
Fragile Express ID verified.
Like, as a courier, you can't really refuse people if the money's right, but that sort of just makes you a mercenary. We really don't know much about Fragile still, besides the fact her father started this courier company and she kind of took it over. And she has some sort of connection to Higgs in the past that we don't know about yet. Here you go, punk. Punk! You almost killed me.
Delivering cargo.
What? You kidding me? You actually went into that hellhole?
Yeah.
You don't know what this means to me. Whole lot of memories in these old tools. The kind of stuff you can't replace with a chiral printer. Thought I was giving you an impossible mission.
Nope.
Oh, yes. Now we're talking. Whether you see the weapons I make with these sand bridges, you are incredible. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad he's happy. It was hard and scary.
Now, to be fair, Fragile and her crew never did me wrong. Could say I owe them, even. If they're running with Higgs now, then that makes them as bad as him, don't it?
Yeah.
It's as if all the motherfucking terrorists are coming together like one big happy family. Might be time for us to do the same. Maybe there's hope for us after all. At least if there's more folks like you in the UCA. Safety in numbers, huh?
Yeah.
And the new America to boot. Connect me to the chiral network.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. The bola gun. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to read soon.
Right. Now that you're looking out for me, it's only fair that I look out for you. So, as long as you keep me connected, I'll keep on supplying you with my best tools. And together we all might live a little longer. Oh, by the way, check out this beauty I made. It's called a bola gun. Should keep anyone from giving you trouble for a minute. It's non-lethal, of course. I can't promise it won't leave marks, but that's on them. If you think you could use it, take it.
Oh, I like that.
A bola gun, huh? That could come in handy. As is, you can use it to restrain human targets without killing them. But swap out those wires with strands spun from your blood, and it might even work on BTs. Go ahead. Give it a whirl.
Okay, so fires binding wires that temporarily immobilize targets within the area of effect.
Well, you've done your bit. Time for me to do mine.
Cool.
Good work. New order available.
We're gonna do those two for now, and we're gonna go make a stop at the engineers.
Order assigned.
Excellent work, Sam. You've brought 3 way stations into the fold. The preppers are on the grid and the chiral network is looking better than ever. We're planning to use a regional distro center as our next way station. But that'll have to wait. Got a priority task here. A mess in need of cleaning up. We need you to recover one of Lake Knot City's system servers. They sent it out for repairs and mules hit the transport on the way back. The server contains validation data for a new delivery system we're deploying. Once in place, it will use the chiral network to automate deliveries. To us, it's invaluable. To the mules, it may as well be a toaster. A toaster they'll happily tear apart for the chiral crystals and rare earth metals inside.
Uh-oh.
If we don't act quickly, we could lose that data. So get your ass to the mule's drop site, snatch the server, and bring it back to Lake Knot City. I'm putting the order in myself. Check your cufflinks for details.
Well, I don't have to do that now, do I? It's probably in here. Oh, okay.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Let's do this. Hey! The baby seems to like it. This does look really comfy. Is that a road? They see me. That's great. They have a car. They're using a car. Oh shit. Oh shit. Go, bro, go. This is so bad. They can't drive across all this. They're gonna look for me though. Let's keep moving. So I think I managed to get away from the mules by taking the path I was taking.
Keep on keeping on.
How you doing, Sam? This one's for you.
That's like actually a good ladder though.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Poof.
Delivering cargo.
Oh, hey. Good to see you. Well, the cargo's in great condition.
Wow.
Well, be safe out there.
Will do.
Good work. New order available.
Alright, I'll take this for right now. Because that's where we're heading back to. I'm not gonna make that yet. We gotta recycle a few things as well.
Order assigned.
Can I do that here? Yeah, good. That got all of them, right? Nope. Yeah, it did. Okay. Cool.
Delivering cargo. Thank you for your continued support.
Yep. Everything else good, huh? Yeah. Let me just...
Thank you for your contribution.
Oh, so that's where we're trying to go. Right now we need to get back to Lake Knot City, so we'll make a separate trip. Out here for all of that.
Thanks again.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
These goddamn dicks and their scanning bullshit. I think if I keep going this way, I should be good. We gonna change our shoes right quick.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Welcome to Lake Knot City. Proceed to distribution center.
I'd just about given up on this. I owe you one.
Thank you for your contribution.
It's a lot of food. Special machine and food. Yeah, I still haven't done that.
Hey, how's it going? Wow, this is way more than we expected. Thank you, Sam. Until the next delivery, then.
Good work. New order available. Please have... Thank you for your continued support.
Alright, so I recycled stuff, turned stuff in. We're gonna go to the room and read a little and rest.
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
So we got some mail as well. We have a bunch of BTs. We got the Kraken, a baby Kraken. Pretty cool. Kind of scary. Let's take a shower.
EX grenade number 0.
Check on baby, as is the custom. Whoa. I'm scared to do it now. He looks happy.
Hey, baby.
Okay. Alright. Love you, baby. That was really scary. Let's read. Looks like we have quite a bit to read, mail-wise. So this is from William Lake, all about preppers. We made rounds of the local preppers when I first arrived here with Bridges 1. There should be some interviews floating around that the records team transcribed. Take a look if you get the chance. We were mainly sounding out the situation on the ground and trying to convince them to join the UCA, of course. But we already suspected that they weren't the type to follow the herd. Why else would they be out here? Still, we found the odd community-minded soul among them. Not all were holed up in shelters by choice. Some were running from something. Others had just been born into the life. Getting the few we did to throw their lot in with the UCA was a pain in the ass, though. Didn't help the chiral network wasn't up and running back then either. All we could do was put parts in place and promise they were going to work someday. And now they finally do, thanks to you. Could be the skeptics might finally come around now that we can show as well as tell. You keep up the good work, you hear? Get us all back on the grid. I'll try. The Elder. Why join the UCA? You still out here fighting the good fight, kiddo? I tip my hat to you for that. And for bringing an old curmudgeon as medicine. I'm doing a whole lot better for it. Much obliged. So in exchange for signing a contract with Bridges, I get meds and supplies delivered to my doorstep? That's no different from the deal I had with Fragile Express. And while I may not have full use of this here network of yours, I can access the weather data and news I need to make life easier than before. All that without having to join the UCA, so what incentive is there to do so? This sounds like when you buy your grandma an iPad, and all she uses it for is to like check the weather every day, and like read the newspaper basically. Like you're like, Grandma, you could play Sudoku. Wait, no, that's the suicide thing. What's it called? Sudoku. Grandma, you could play Sudoku on there. And she's like, I don't need any of that. I don't know what that is. This man's gonna die soon anyway. It's fine. You've got to go the extra mile. From William Lake. Thanks again, Sam. You really came through for us today. Now, you can tell me to mind my business if you like, but I couldn't help but notice that you've been getting better delivery evaluations lately. Looks like you know what you stand to gain if you go the extra mile, or do you? The Bridges evaluation system will see you properly rewarded for providing that extra bit of service to make people happy. Speaking of happy, I just remembered the time you first came here after crossing Ground Zero. True, successfully delivering cargo to its destination is your job first and foremost, but people are demanding. They don't just want their shit carried from A to B. They want a little more, you know? Special treatment? Something that'll put a smile on their face. Hey, I get it, it's a lot more work for you, tracking down lost cargo, returning items to their rightful owners, and it's not really part of the job description either, but you better get used to it because standards are changing and people are only going to expect more from their porters. Anyway, it's usually worth your while. Going above and beyond is a good way to rack up plenty of likes. And hell, sometimes you end up doing it without even realizing you did. I'm serious. Next time you complete an order, take a closer look at your results. See if there isn't a symbol next to your likes which indicates that you got them for performing optional extras. You might be surprised. It may all seem like a hassle right now, Sam, but you can never have too many likes. Okay, I don't really need to hear about all that. This is from the engineer. I feel like he looks familiar to me. That face, I don't know why. The engineer, one step closer to understanding the beach. Hey Sam, I've just submitted my latest progress report. I know the I'm gonna call it Evo Devo unit utilizes the chiral network to access the beach, but I don't understand how. I'm not sure anybody does, but whoever came up with the theory behind it is a bona fide genius. We can't reclaim the past we lost, but piecing it together from what's left is the next best thing. Must have took a truly great mind to figure that out. You know what it reminds me of? Pictures. After all, what's a picture but a fragment? A two-dimensional snapshot of space and time. Not to mention the thoughts and feelings of whoever took it. A physical memory to match the ones in our heads. They say we've each got our own beach, and it's these beaches that we route the network through. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe there's more of us and our memories and our beaches than we realize. But I'm just a layman when it comes to this stuff. If anything, you've got a better chance of understanding it. You're the one with dooms, after all. So, that kind of helps me understand Sam's dreams / nightmares a little more. Are we visiting our beach in our dreams as a reparate? Because we are the only reparate that people know. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else out there. And being a reparate means you have the ability to find your body in the seam, which is the transitional place between Earth and beach, reclaim your human form and come back to Earth. Alive. I don't know. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Excuse me? My dear Mr. Sam Bridges. A humble request for pizza. My dear Mr. Sam Bridges, it is an honor to make your acquaintance. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Peter Englert. After hearing so much about you, all good, I hasten to add, I simply could not resist the urge to initiate a correspondence. My request is of such great import that I dare entrust it to only the man who delivers. My sister, bless her heart, has been feeling under the weather, and I feared there is only one thing that might restore the color to her cheeks. Pizza. I wonder if you might be so kind as to collect some from Lake Knot City and deliver it to our humble abode. I am more than aware of the gravity and urgency of your westward journey, but if you could find it in your heart to squeeze us in, I would be ever so grateful. Oh, and my dear sister is something of a ham lover. Please bear that in mind if you decide to oblige me. This man really wants me to deliver him pizza like I'm SpongeBob out here. Okay. The commencement of Evo Devo unit testing. I know it can't be easy out there on your own, Sam, but we need you to stay strong. I've started on a few experiments with the Evo Devo unit you brought me. So far, things are going pretty well. I'm not quite at the stage where I can perfectly recreate objects, but I suspect that that's only because the chiral network's coverage is limited. The more places you bring online, the better my results, most likely. Anyway, I'll be submitting regular reports on my progress to Bridges. Rest assured, I'll keep at it. Incidentally, I've taken an interest in the Odra deck lately. These days, people tend to associate them with the BBs, or think of them as BT detectors. But they were originally designed as more all-purpose scanners for the detection of people and various objects. Seems they've undergone quite a few changes over the years. By all accounts, many of the original features were cut at some point. One such feature would allow users to project holograms, which could be pretty useful, and another would utilize chiral connections to reconstruct past data for present-day applications. Interesting. I don't believe these features are lost forever, though. If we keep expanding the network, someone's bound to take the initiative and create new and improved versions of them. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, Sam. We should catch up in person one day. Yep. I mean, I'll see you again. The Craftsman. Mules, heroes, or villains? Hey Sam, how's that bola gun working out for you? You put it to good use yet? Listen, I've come up with a few more ideas for new gadgets since we last spoke. And any chiral and Hey Sam, how's that bola gun working out for you? You put it to good use yet? Listen, I've come up with a few more ideas for new gadgets since we last spoke, and Chiral Network makes it so easy to share data you can fabricate stuff pretty much anywhere. In fact, I might ask you to test them out for me sometime. It's in your interest too, what with you maybe having to go against mules and whatever crazies are out there. But if you do have to throw down, remember that mules used to be just like you. They were porters when the world went to hell. People trying to help people in all that chaos and confusion. Would have been hailed as heroes if they hadn't gone batshit. That's what most people think, me included. Though I heard it might not be that simple. Might be they started out as smugglers and that's why they can navigate all kinds of hard country. Guys like that, well, something tells me they wouldn't be altruists at heart. Guess there's no way of knowing the truth of it now. Anyway, Sam, I doled out a few of those hematic grenades you brought me to some local porters along with some blood bags. If they work as advertised, then our people might just be able to stand up to BTs if necessary. Could be a new beginning for the whole community. Well, that's really good, actually. I'm glad that that's something other people can do, and the world may have a chance at fighting back against these BTs. The Evo Devo unit. From Hartman the Doctor. This was a year ago. It seems a rather significant breakthrough has been achieved back at headquarters. They've successfully integrated an Evo Devo unit into a chiral printer. In case you're not familiar with the term, Evo Devo refers to evolutionary development biology. Your genes, mouse genes, dinosaur genes, the genes of every living being are virtually identical, and yet we develop into such radically different organisms. Thus, a question arises. Why did such disparate life arise from the self-same building blocks? Evo Devo was the field of study that sought to solve that mystery, to lay bare the secrets of evolution. Before the advent of Evo Devo, it was thought that in order to reconstruct a dinosaur, we would require a sample of its DNA. However, thanks to this technology's ability to extrapolate from existing data, we could, with the correct stimulus, grow a dinosaur from the DNA of any living organism. We could, in essence, recreate the process by which dinosaurs evolved from primeval life forms. Interesting. An Evo Devo unit applies these same principles to the problem of information and object reconstruction. With the help of the chiral network, we may take incomplete data, and indeed incomplete objects, and reproduce their complete forms. This data can then be fed into a chiral printer, and voila, partial data yields finished product. The tech isn't viable for everyday use just yet, but when it is, it will be of incalculable benefit to our research and bring our reconstruction efforts forward by a matter of decades. Interesting. Alright, this is the Chiral Network 2 by Mama. She's the lady who talks to us about our upgrades and our weapons, stuff like that. In a way, the chiral network makes use of the beach to allow us to travel through time. See, sending large amounts of data takes large amounts of time, as you'd expect. But the thing about beaches is, while time doesn't pass the same way in them as it does out here, might not even pass at all. Think about how the light from the stars in the sky we see was produced thousands and thousands of years ago. Routing data through the beach is like jumping to a point earlier in that journey, thereby cutting it shorter. Much shorter. Just imagine massive amounts of data transferred almost instantaneously. That's what we're trying to achieve with the chiral network in a nutshell. In theory, the network allows us to reconstruct old data that would otherwise be lost, and to do so with fragmented resources. Using what's known as Evo-Devo analysis, we could take the finger bone of a dinosaur and say extrapolate from that not only the dinosaur's form, but its composition, internal, external, even its thought processes, to a degree. Anything's possible with chiral computing. In other words, we won't just be able to reunite a nation. We'll be able to reclaim everything we lost in the Death Stranding. More even, theoretically, we could go back as far as the birth of the planet and beyond. That just made my brain explode. Okay. And thanks to the beach, we'll be able to compile all that data in one place and reduce the processing time for even the most complex analyses to effectively zero. How can this all be in a video game and it's not in real life? My brain. Oh, it's the beach. Yeah, we don't have that in real life. We just die, don't we? That makes sense. My brain is like, okay, alright, I got this. It's all good. We have a lot to read here. Alright, so this interview was taken by the first team that came out here before the chiral network was up. And at the time, they were trying to convince these preppers to join the network before it was ready. They were just like, look, we'll set everything up. Just be ready, be patient. It'll come. And some people didn't want to join. Some people were eager to wait. But this interview is from the engineer. Someone who has already joined the network. Who engineer where his personal shelter 2 years ago? My horizons ain't exactly broad. That said, I'm not completely cut off from the outside world. I knew what Bridges was and that they were trying to rebuild America, but when you're living down here, it's hard to see how that's got anything to do with you and yourself. Am I right? My folks holed up in this shelter after the Death Stranding, had a kid and raised him in their slice of paradise, and together we lived off whatever Fragile Express was kind enough to bring our way. They told me tales about the good old days, but I've never had much of an imagination. Couldn't see how a country long gone was any concern of me and mine. Far as I figured, if Fragile Express was happy to keep bringing us stuff, we didn't need anybody else, and we certainly didn't need America, whatever that even was. But then one day, I was looking at a part for this machine my dad put together. He was an engineer too. And I noticed something. It said, "Made in the USA," right there in tiny print. Got me to thinking that America might not exist anymore, but the stuff Americans built is still around, making our lives a little bit easier even now. You could say the old country lives on in its works, kinda like how my folks live on in me. They died a while back. Anyway, if they were American, I guess that makes me American too. And maybe this shelter a part of it all. Once I realized that, I started pouring my heart into building stuff to help you guys put the country back together. That's very nice of you. Terrorists posing as Fragile Express couriers. 1 year ago. The Craftsman. So this was the guy who made us our Bola gun, and we had to go on that stupid trip to get his toolbox for him. The terrorists have been at it again lately. You heard, right? About how they've been sneaking in and out of cities disguised as Fragile Express couriers. We'll have another disaster on our hands at this rate, but it's not like we can just cut them out. We need Fragile's people to keep on doing what they're doing. We rely on those guys for a lot, though maybe we shouldn't. I heard they're transporting weapons now. Why they'd be so stupid, I can't imagine. Spreading shit around that kills in a world where the dead are ticking BT bombs. Sure, terrorists are a threat and mules are a royal pain in the ass, but what genius figured escalation was the way to go when we all know where it leads. We need weapons, no, tools, that can take down the bad guys without killing them. And we need the hardware in circulation gone yesterday. We can't keep folks from dying in accidents or getting sick. We can't keep them from dying, period. But the deaths we can put off, we ought to. Violence isn't just ugly, it's damn near suicidal in this day and age. Which is why I'm looking to make a bunch of less than lethal gear, in the hopes that it'll prevent a few idiots from getting themselves and others killed. Also a good idea. So the unknown man's... Okay, we're gonna save the unknown man's journal. Fragile's umbrella and suit. Fragile Express staffer. You think that thing Fragile carries is an umbrella? I can see why you jumped to that conclusion, what with the shape and all, but you're wrong. If it's any consolation, I thought it was an umbrella too at first. It's actually some kind of navigational device that Fragile came up with herself. I won't pretend to understand the theory behind it, but I'm told it factors chiral density across beaches and plots coordinates for her jumps. Interesting. Fragile's got some kind of dooms that lets her move from beach to beach. The way she tells it, she kind of clears her mind and lets her powers do the rest. Maybe it's something similar with the spikes on her suit. When Fragile senses beryllium concentrations, they pop out. I'm not sure if she'd be able to tell otherwise. It's like an unconscious reaction. The spikes only retract when chiral density decreases. But who knows? Names and theories are just ways of coping with things we don't really understand. Very, very true and well said. Same with visual indications of the tangible, maybe. All I can say is Fragile's umbrella and spikes seem to help her hone her powers. We're gonna come back and read the unknown man's journal at another point. The secret confessions of a certain someone. Interesting. I'm kind of scared to go do what we gotta do right now. But, we'll do it. Let's put our hat on. Alright. Oh wait. Let's look at our weapon rack now that we have a weapon. That's cool. Alright. Well, we're about to take that with us and use it for the first time. Let's see how it goes. He seemed scared and like freaking out last time we saw Daddy. Is he drunk right now? Is that what's happening? It looks like the mom's in a body bag. No, she's alive, okay. I see her arm. Uh-oh.
Thinking you could keep us safe.
Talking to himself.
Man like you. I'd put on that bet. It's just you and me now, BB.
She is dead?
That's all I got. I'll keep you safe. No matter what.
Ascending.
Y'all ready for this?